So today YouTube started to put blockers for ad blockers on YouTube, so that it looks like that we have to pay for premium service on YouTube. Even though we upload content onto YouTube, they're still going to charge us between $20 and $40 a month to even be able to get on YouTube. So unfortunately, that means that I have to try and figure out a way to get money for this, because I can't. I've been paying it all out of my own pocket, and now it's getting more and more expensive. A lot of YouTubers are using different formats. They either put ads on themselves, or they use some kind of donation system on the internet. So you donate to it, and that money goes putting up this particular content. I'll let you know what I decide to do. Your thoughts on this are greatly welcome, because unfortunately it's looking like the internet is becoming one big paywall. For every single site that you want to be on, you have to pay for. And so the death of the internet will slowly come as time goes on and each site decides to throw up a paywall. It's unfortunate, but it's happening, and I don't know what to do about it. So I'll think about it for a while, and any suggestions from you guys is welcome. But let's go ahead and get on this very important video. A new UN report urges global end to fossil fuel by 2030. That's a complete end to all fossil fuel, the drilling, the exploration, and the use. Fossil fuel should cease, and funding to rescue poor countries from the impact of climate crisis should reach from $200 billion to $400 billion a year by 2030. So we need to rescue the poor countries along with us to keep from catastrophic climate change. The world's countries were still way off track to meet the goals of the 2015 Paris Climate Agreement. Well, everybody knew that. They keep saying they're going to back off from what the agreement that they agreed to. It will take much more action to make it possible to limit global heating to 1.5 C. And honestly, I think we're close to 1.5 C at this time. So I think they've missed that goal very easily, and they'll be lucky if they can get to 2 or 2.5 C. And considering the heat that we're going through these days, I can't imagine what it's going to be like in the near future. COP28 must be a decisive moment to end the era of fossil fuel. This guy, who's the head of global politics strategy at Climate Action Network International, said the era of more rhetoric is over. We must act now. I honestly think we're coming to the dead end of where we can help ourselves with climate change, and our leaders are completely in the dark about this and don't have a clue of what to do or when to do it. They're too wrapped up in their politics. Europeans' Copernicus Climate Change Service said that 2023 is on track to be the hottest year ever recorded, following a string of scorching months, including an unusually warm September that stunned scientists. September was just mind-blowing, and that we have never seen anything like this in any month in our recorded history. Last month was the warmest September recorded globally. The month as a whole was around 1.75 degrees C warmer than the September average from 1850 to now. This extreme month has pushed 2023 into the dubious honor of first place, on track to be the warmest year at 1.4 degrees C above pre-industrial temperatures. Now let's look at the global air temperature and anomalies for September. These are mind-boggling, and I want you to see what we're seeing and how we've been seeing this for the last 3 months, how each month is hotter and hotter and hotter, and it's going up very quickly. Now in the past we've talked about some of the things that could be adding to global climate change that the scientists aren't even taking into an effect of why we're heating up so quickly, which means that we have to convert from fossil fuels over to alternative energies soon, very quickly. Now here in the U.S., the FBI has declared MAGA a terrorist organization, a domestic terrorist organization here in the U.S. Now it is finding that U.S. white males are now against wind farms because they think, because of Donald Trump, that they kill whales and other animals by the whirling of the blades. This kind of misinformation must end, and we must get on this case of converting over to alternative energy, because the terrorist organization here in the U.S. is not going to help anything by declaring alternative energy something that they don't want, when it's the only thing that's going to save their ass from starving to death and becoming more and more continuous heat strokes as the days go on, and we end up with more and more heat in the summer times, and then soon it will convert over to fall and spring, and then eventually you won't even have much of a winter. It'll just be kind of a little cooler than summer. It's so important that we pay attention to the warning signs around our countries, and we put in proper leadership. We can't keep putting in garbage leadership and expect change. We must somehow get rid of the garbage we have now and put in real progressive science thinking leadership so that we can quickly get off of fossil fuels. We can't keep opening up spaces in our public lands around the U.S. and other countries and expect fossil fuels to keep drilling and exploring, and we're going to somehow, with all that, end climate change. It isn't going to happen. We have to stop fossil fuels by 2030. That doesn't leave us much time. And I honestly don't think that much will change by then, and that we are going down a rabbit hole that we are not going to even be able to begin to claw ourselves out of. But it's up to us. We're the people in charge, and we must do something about this. If we don't, you know what's coming. Starvation, heat stroke, and famine around the world. And if you think migration is bad now, at your different borders where people are coming to try and get into your countries, you ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet. Wait till the heat really starts cranking up, and the countries that can't handle the heat, their people will start migrating to the north and to the south of our planet. And there's not a thing these countries can do to stop it. They can put up all the border walls and all the rules they want. The people are going to come, and they're going to come in droves, by the thousands, and then by the millions, and then by the billions. And there's nothing that the right wing can do to stop all this, unless they convert from fossil fuel over to alternative energy within a few years, which is very doubtful. So expect chaos in the future, and much more chaos than we're having now. Much more homelessness, much more death, much more violence, and you name it, it's coming if we don't do something about getting off of fossil fuels. All right, with that, I appreciate all the ups, the new subscribers, and definitely your comments on any of the subjects we talked about today. And I'll let you know what we're going to do about the new YouTube and how we're going to pay for it. But your suggestions are definitely welcome. And until next time.